victory, proving that even in the darkest times, hope could triumph over despair. As the Rixians fled, Earth's military leaders gathered to discuss their next steps. The victory had been hard-earned, and many had lost friends and loved ones. But it was also a victory that sent a clear signal: humanity would never surrender. It wasn't just about saving Earth anymore. It was about showing the galaxy that Earth was a force to be reckoned with, and any who thought otherwise would face the same fate as the Rixians. The humans had a plan. They knew that the Rixians would spread the news of their defeat, but they wanted to make sure their message was heard far and wide by every alien species in the galaxy. The Earth's leaders decided to use their newly acquired alien technology, combined with their own communication systems, to send a message that would be broadcast across the stars. In a massive, well-coordinated effort, Earth's space stations and military ships began transmitting the message. It wasn't just a simple broadcast, it was a statement. The message was clear, loud, and filled with humanity's resolve. It was a warning, but also a declaration of peace, depending on how it was interpreted. The message began with the story of Earth's victory. It told of how the Rixians, confident in their technology and numbers, had attacked Earth with the belief that they could crush humanity in one swift blow. But the humans fought back. They had been underestimated, and the Rixians paid the price. The message showed the courage, unity, and resilience of Earth's people, how civilians and soldiers, scientists and engineers all worked together to defend their planet. It was a testament to humanity's determination and resourcefulness. But the message wasn't just about Earth's fight. It was a warning to any other alien species that might consider attacking the planet in the future. The humans made it clear that Earth was no longer a weak, defenseless world. They were no longer the easy target that the Rixians had thought they were. Earth's secret warships, its well-trained military, and its will to fight back were now a powerful force to be reckoned with. The message told the galaxy that any future attacks would not be tolerated. Any species foolish enough to underestimate Earth would learn the hard way, just as the Rixians had. At the same time, the message carried a message of hope. Humanity had shown that even in the face of overwhelming odds, they could stand together and fight for their survival. The humans were not a species that would give up easily. They believed in peace, but they were willing to fight to protect it. The galaxy was vast, and there were countless civilizations out there. Earth wanted to make it clear that they would not blindly accept anyone who tried to harm them, but they were open to diplomacy and peaceful relations with those who respected their sovereignty. The message ended with a simple yet powerful statement: never mess with Earth. As the message spread across the galaxy, it reached alien civilizations far and wide. Some laughed at first, thinking it was just the boasting of a defeated species. But the Rixians' defeat was undeniable. They had been humbled by Earth's unexpected resilience and advanced technology. And slowly, as the message echoed through the stars, it became clear that Earth was not a planet to be ignored anymore. The galaxy had learned that humanity was not a species to mess with. They had seen firsthand that Earth would fight back, and now they understood that the humans would do whatever it took to protect their world. In the days and weeks that followed, Earth received messages from distant civilizations. Some were friendly, offering congratulations and suggesting peaceful exchanges. Others, perhaps more cautious, simply acknowledged the message and asked what Earth's terms for peaceful coexistence might be. But no one dared to challenge Earth directly after that. The Rixians had made that mistake, and now their defeat had sent a powerful ripple throughout the galaxy. On Earth, life slowly returned to normal. People rebuilt their homes, mourned their losses, and celebrated their hard-won victory. But humanity had changed. They were no longer the underdogs. They had sent a message to the galaxy, a message of strength, unity, and resilience. And now, the universe knew that Earth was not just another planet to conquer. It was a world that would fight to the end, and any species that wanted to mess with Earth would have to think twice. The galaxy had learned the hard way: never mess with Earth. The story begins in the vast reaches of space, where an alien empire known as the Rixian Dominion has been expanding across the galaxy for centuries. They are a powerful and ruthless species, with technology far beyond anything Earth could imagine. They've conquered countless worlds, and their leaders believe that Earth is just another small, weak planet that will fall easily under their control. The Rixians had been watching Earth for a long time, studying its people, its technology, and its defenses. To them, Earth seemed primitive and unimportant, a planet full of unorganized nations and weak militaries. They believed they could swoop in, take what they wanted, and leave without much trouble. They saw humans as nothing more than ants, unworthy of attention. But they were wrong. The Rixians' plan was simple. They would send a fleet of ships to Earth, land on its surface, and begin extracting resources, all while keeping the humans in check. They didn't expect any resistance. After all, they had crushed countless species before, and none had been able to stop them. They believed Earth's leaders would quickly give in, scared and overwhelmed by the might of the Rixian forces. But what the Rixians didn't know was that Earth had been preparing for something like this for years. Unknown to the aliens, Earth's best scientists, engineers, and military leaders had been secretly working together, creating technologies far more advanced than the aliens could imagine. In underground bunkers and high-tech laboratories, humans had been developing powerful weapons and systems that would allow them to protect their planet from any threat. As the Rixian fleet approached, a group of Earth's best minds detected the incoming ships. Within minutes, an alarm rang across the world, warning every nation that they were under attack. The news spread quickly. People were terrified, but they weren't helpless. The world's military forces immediately began to mobilize. Fighters scrambled into the sky, and fleets of ships rose from Earth's oceans and hidden launch sites. The Rixian fleet arrived in the Earth's atmosphere, confident in their superiority. They expected to see chaos, to find the humans running in fear. What they didn't expect was the sight of Earth's airspace filled with thousands of fighter jets, laser cannons, and defense systems. The humans were not running. They were ready for a fight. The first wave of alien ships began to open fire, but Earth's advanced technology surprised them. The humans had built shields that could withstand the aliens' laser beams, and their own weapons sent shock waves through the alien ships. The Rixians were stunned. Their attacks weren't as effective as they had hoped. The humans had somehow managed to develop countermeasures to everything they threw at them. The battle raged in the skies above Earth. Rixian ships, large and powerful, clashed with Earth's smaller, faster vessels. Human pilots, trained for years, moved with precision, dodging alien fire and taking down alien ships one by one. Each explosion in the sky was a testament to humanity's unexpected strength. The Rixians tried to regroup, but their initial shock had thrown them off. They couldn't believe how fiercely the humans were fighting back. Down on the ground, people were preparing for the worst, but they refused to hide. Earth's armies were mobilized, and the world stood united. Knowing this wasn't just an attack on a single country or city, it was an attack on the entire planet. People of all nations worked together, coordinating efforts to protect their homes and families. As the Rixians struggled to regain control of the situation, they began to realize that Earth was not as weak as they had thought. The humans had surprised them, and their military might was something they had never expected. The Rixians weren't prepared for a battle like this. In space, Earth's new fleets were preparing for the next stage of the fight. What the Rixians didn't know was that Earth had hidden weapons they hadn't even begun to unleash. The first wave had only been the beginning, and the aliens were about to learn the hard way: never mess with Earth. The fight above Earth was just getting started. The Rixian fleet, still stunned by the fierce resistance, tried to regroup. They had expected the humans to collapse under their firepower, but instead, they were facing a world united in defense. The alien commanders were furious. They thought Earth would be an easy target, but now they realized they had made a grave mistake. As the Rixians reorganized, Earth's forces weren't backing down. The skies were filled with the roar of fighter jets, all piloted by brave humans determined to protect their home. These weren't just ordinary pilots. They were the best of the best, trained to fight in the most extreme conditions. They soared through the air with incredible skill, dodging alien lasers and firing back with precision. The humans had developed advanced targeting systems that made their weapons more deadly than the Rixians could ever imagine. The battle intensified as both sides fought for control of the skies. The Rixians unleashed more powerful weapons, sending bursts of energy at Earth's fighters. But the humans weren't easily defeated. Their fighters, smaller and more agile, swerved and dived, making it almost impossible for the aliens to land a clean shot. When a Rixian ship fired a laser, Earth's pilots would quickly move out of the way and return fire, using their advanced technology to strike the aliens' weak points. But the Rixians weren't just attacking from the air. They had massive warships that hovered in space, far above Earth's atmosphere, firing down powerful beams of energy at major cities. These beams could melt entire buildings in seconds. The aliens believed this would be enough to break the human spirit and force them into submission. They couldn't understand why the humans weren't surrendering. After all, in every other war they had fought, the weaker species would give up once they saw the power of the Rixians' weapons. On the ground, Earth's armies were mobilized in full force. People from every country, every continent, joined together to fight back. Soldiers, engineers, and civilians worked side by side, preparing the defenses and helping the injured. Cities that had once been quiet and peaceful now became battle zones, with military units and civilians working in unison. Every corner of the Earth had become a front line. Humans fought not just for survival, but for their way of life. Earth's governments, working together, coordinated military responses across the planet. Countries that had never before worked together were now in complete sync, sharing information and resources. The world's armies were a united force, and no one was backing down. Tanks rolled through the streets, and infantry forces took up positions to defend key areas. The Rixians could see that they were facing not just a military, but an entire world that would fight to the end. Despite the humans' determination, the Rixians weren't about to give up easily. They began deploying massive ground troops to Earth's surface, hoping to crush any resistance that might remain. Their soldiers were equipped with advanced armor and weapons, but they had underestimated the resolve of the human fighters. As the alien forces landed, they were met with fierce resistance from Earth's military and civilian volunteers. Humans fought like they had nothing to lose, defending their homes and their families with everything they had. Earth's counterattacks were relentless. Humans had developed new weapons that the Rixians had never seen before. Some of these weapons were powerful energy-based rifles, while others were explosives designed to destroy alien technology. Human soldiers worked in small, fast-moving groups, launching surprise attacks on alien positions, and then disappearing into the terrain before the Rixians could react. It was clear now that Earth was not the weak planet the Rixians had believed it to be. The Rixians tried to push forward, but each move was met with fierce resistance. They couldn't understand it. No matter how many soldiers they sent, no matter how many cities they destroyed, the humans just wouldn't break. In fact, they seemed to be getting stronger with each passing hour. The aliens had never faced an enemy like this before, one that didn't crumble under pressure but fought back even harder. It became clear to the Rixians that Earth was not a planet they could conquer easily. The battle was only beginning, and the aliens were starting to realize they might have underestimated their enemy. Humanity wasn't just fighting for survival, they were fighting to show the universe that Earth was a force to be reckoned with. The Rixians were in for a much tougher fight than they had ever imagined. The battle in the skies above Earth was unlike anything the Rixians had ever faced. Despite their overwhelming firepower, the humans refused to back down. Their fighter jets, military forces, and civilian volunteers had proven that Earth's people were ready to fight to the end. But the Rixians still believed they could win. They had more advanced technology, more ships, and a fleet of soldiers ready to overwhelm the humans. What the Rixians didn't know, however, was that Earth had a secret weapon, a weapon so powerful that it would change the course of the war. While the Rixians were busy fighting in the skies and on the ground, they didn't realize that Earth had been secretly preparing for a moment like this for years. Deep in hidden bunkers, beneath mountains and oceans, Earth's best scientists and engineers had been working on a project so classified that even most of Earth's leaders didn't know about it. They knew that humanity could not just rely on conventional weapons to fight a force like the Rixians. They needed something more, something that could turn the tide of the war in their favor. That secret weapon was a fleet of advanced warships, built in complete secrecy, hidden in Earth's orbit. These ships were unlike anything the Rixians had ever seen. They were faster, stronger, and more powerful than the alien fleet. They had been designed specifically to take on the Rixian forces and give humanity a fighting chance. The moment had finally arrived. Earth's top military commanders gave the signal, and from deep space, the hidden warships began to emerge. They appeared out of nowhere, floating silently above Earth's atmosphere, ready for battle. The Rixians were completely caught off guard. They had no idea that Earth had such a fleet, and they didn't know how to respond. The sudden appearance of these ships sent shock waves through the Rixian command. At first, the Rixians thought it was a trick. They assumed the humans had somehow stolen alien technology or were using advanced decoys. But when the Earth ships fired their first salvo, the Rixians knew they were facing something entirely new. The ships fired with such precision and power that they shattered Rixian shields like they were made of paper. The first few shots were enough to destroy several of the Rixian warships, leaving the aliens in a state of shock. The Rixians scrambled to respond, sending their remaining ships to engage the new threat. But Earth's secret warships were too fast. They moved with incredible speed, dodging alien fire and hitting their targets with deadly accuracy. The aliens tried to regroup, but they were being torn apart by the humans' surprise attack. Their weapons seemed ineffective against Earth's ships, which had been built with materials and technology that the Rixians could not understand. Every attack the Rixians launched was countered with ease, and their forces began to break apart. The human fleet wasn't just technologically superior, it was also incredibly well coordinated. Earth's military had trained for this moment for years, and every pilot, soldier, and engineer was prepared. They worked together as if they had been fighting side by side for decades. The Rixians, on the other hand, were disorganized, confused, and unable to adapt to the humans' unpredictable tactics. Down on Earth, the news of the secret fleet's success spread quickly. People who had been hiding in fear of the Rixian invasion now cheered as they saw their forces pushing back the alien attackers. It was a turning point in the war. The Rixians had come to Earth expecting an easy conquest, but they had underestimated humanity's resolve and ingenuity. The Rixian fleet, once so confident in their power, now found themselves on the defensive. They had been caught off guard by the human secret weapon, and they were struggling to keep up. The battle in space raged on, but it was clear that the humans had gained the upper hand. The Rixians tried to call for reinforcements, but the humans were one step ahead. Earth's forces had already taken control of key communication satellites, preventing the Rixians from calling for backup. The alien fleet was isolated and their options were running out. As the battle continued, it became increasingly clear that Earth was not the weak, helpless planet the Rixians had once thought it to be. The secret weapon had leveled the playing field, and now the aliens were learning a hard lesson. Never underestimate the humans. Earth was not going to surrender, and it was prepared to fight back in ways the Rixians had never imagined. The Rixians had thought they could crush humanity easily, but now they were on the run. Humanity's secret weapon had shifted the tide of the war, and the aliens were beginning to realize they were in for a much tougher fight than they had ever expected. The tide of battle had begun to shift in humanity's favor. The Rixians, once so confident in their superior technology and overwhelming force, now found themselves struggling to maintain their hold over Earth. The unexpected arrival of Earth's secret fleet had caught them off guard, and they were quickly realizing that this was not going to be the easy conquest they had planned. But the fight was far from over, and the turning point was just beginning. As the Rixians scrambled to reorganize and plan their next move, they faced a growing sense of panic. Their once proud fleet had been torn apart by Earth's surprise warships, and their soldiers on the ground were facing fierce resistance from the humans. Every corner of Earth seemed to be a battleground, and the aliens couldn't understand how the humans were holding their ground so strongly. They had expected to crush the Earthlings with one swift blow, but now they were fighting for their survival. On the ground, humanity's military forces were becoming more organized and efficient. As Earth's secret fleet continued to decimate the Rixian warships above, the humans launched a counteroffensive from below. Soldiers, fighters, and civilians alike had joined the battle. Cities that had once been calm and peaceful were now turned into war zones. But instead of running in fear, the people of Earth fought with everything they had. Families protected their homes, engineers built weapons, and entire communities rallied together. The idea that Earth was weak had been shattered, and the aliens now realized that humanity was far more dangerous than they had ever imagined. The Rixian commanders, once filled with arrogance, were starting to crack under pressure. They had underestimated the strength and unity of humanity, and now they were seeing the results of their miscalculation. Their warships, now scattered and in disarray, could not keep up with the relentless assault from Earth's fleets. Every time they thought they had a chance to regroup, another wave of human fighters would strike, forcing them to retreat. The turning point came when Earth's military made a bold move. They launched an all-out assault on one of the Rixians' key space stations, a massive structure that served as their command center. If they could destroy this station, it would disrupt the entire Rixian fleet and cripple their ability to continue the invasion. This was humanity's chance to end the war and send a clear message to the invaders: Earth would not be defeated. The human fleet, with its advanced technology and well-coordinated tactics, charged towards the Rixian space station. As they approached, the Rixians tried to stop them, firing everything they had. But it wasn't enough. The humans had anticipated this, and their warships easily evaded the alien weapons, dodging and weaving through the oncoming fire. One by one, the Rixian defenses were destroyed, and the humans closed in on their target. Inside the station, the Rixian leaders tried desperately to maintain control, but their communication lines were cut, and their defenses were crumbling. They had no way to call for reinforcements, no way to rally their forces. It was chaos. The humans struck quickly and decisively, planting powerful explosives inside the space station. The Rixians fought back, but they were overwhelmed. Then came the moment that would change the course of the war. With a deafening explosion, the Rixian space station was destroyed, sending shockwaves through the enemy fleet. The explosion sent a clear message to the Rixians. Their command center was gone, their leadership was in disarray, and their invasion had been stopped. As the Rixian fleet reeled from the loss of their command center, Earth's forces pressed the advantage. The Rixians, now leaderless and scattered, could no longer maintain their organized assault. Humanity's fighters launched wave after wave of attacks, hitting alien ships and ground forces with precision and strength. The Rixians tried to retreat, but Earth's military was relentless, pushing them back at every turn. On Earth's surface, the people celebrated as they saw the invaders retreating. The victory was not just military, it was a symbol of humanity's strength and unity. The Rixians had come to Earth thinking it would be an easy conquest, but they were leaving with their tails between their legs. The humans had proven that they would not give up, no matter the odds. The turning point in the battle had been reached. The Rixians were no longer the unstoppable force they had once been. Humanity's determination, bravery, and clever tactics had turned the tide. But the war was far from over. The Rixians might have been forced to retreat for now, but the humans knew they would return. Earth's forces were ready for whatever came next, and they were determined to protect their world and show the universe that Earth was not a planet to be messed with. The battle for Earth had come to an end, but the message it sent out to the universe was just beginning. The Rixians, once so confident that they could easily take over the planet, were now retreating. Their fleets were shattered, their command center destroyed, and their forces were in disarray. Humanity had proved that Earth was not to be underestimated. Now, the humans were ready to send a message that would echo through the galaxy, a message that would change the way the universe viewed Earth forever.